I've been a dental hygienist for about 4 years now. It's been a mix of surprises, struggles, and lessons I never expected. So, I'm going to be sharing my journey as a dental hygienist from the past 4 years and kind of giving new hygienists or people looking to go into this career kind of a behind the scenes of what it's really like and advice for those coming in to the workplace after me, and share not just what happened, but the advice I'd give. Year one, I definitely did not come out of school feeling confident, but I think that's more of a reflection of me and my personality and not so much on like the schooling that I went to. And I feel like that's kind of the general consensus of hygienists kind of coming out of school and how they feel their very first year. I definitely was terrified to go from multiple 3-hour appointments or whatever they were to just one 1 hour, if that even, appointments. It was quite a big struggle trying to get everything into that 1 hour. I definitely felt like I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, did I even learn anything while I was in school when I first started working? I definitely questioned if this was the right career for me and if I could make it. It's like all the information in school went in 1 year and out the other. While I was working, bits and pieces would kind of come back to me and be like, oh yeah, this is what I need to tell the patient kind of thing. So it did work out in the end. It was definitely something that I would say I don't want to go through again because of imposter syndrome, which I talk about in my other videos as well, because it affects me in multiple departments of my life. Imposter syndrome really just slowed me down, made me feel like I didn't know what I was doing. But after talking with a few hygienists, especially the ones that had a similar background in me, as in no dental experience, they also felt like they didn't really know what they were doing. Imposter syndrome, I'd say, is kind of normal for the first little bit, and the confidence in being a good dental hygienist comes with time. Definitely does not come on day one. At least for me, it didn't. If you are a new grad or you're about to get into the workforce, my biggest advice that first year is don't be afraid to ask. One of my issues was working in an office where there was no other hygienist that I could really ask for advice on in the moment. And you'd think talking to the dentist that they would be able to help you. For the most part, majority of them are just so removed from the hygiene aspect. They really rely on the hygienist to know their stuff about gums and whatnot. It's not like they're completely oblivious to it, but as a hygienist, you're probably up to date on more current information regarding gingival disease, periodontitis. Like my first office, the dentist was great, but I didn't feel like I got the answers that I wanted, especially when it came to the hands-on aspect, like how do I use the scaler? They'd be like, I don't know, because they don't use it. They just use like one or two. They don't use like all the different ones that we use, right? So ask your questions, try and watch seasoned dental hygienists, ask them for help, and keep notes either physically, mentally on what works for you. I would say definitely try out different routines, different ways of going about things if things aren't working for you, like in terms of how you ask their questions. Do you ask them when they're fully seated down? Or do you, like me, want to start asking them questions pretty much as soon as they step foot into the door, because time is so valuable. You just need to use up every single second that you have with the patient during that appointment, which most likely when you're first new, if it's an office that hasn't given you any extra time or no extra help, you will probably already be 10 to 15 minutes late getting to your next patient. In any new role that you partake in life, expect there to be a learning curve. You're not supposed to know it all right away. It felt like I had to in the moment. I was definitely feeling like I was so stupid and I didn't know what to do. I was so hard on myself. I definitely didn't give myself time to learn. And that's one thing I would recommend for everyone, is to just give yourself time to learn no matter what you are doing. Once I made it through that shaky first year, things slowly started to change. By year 2, I was definitely getting into a rhythm. I knew what to expect when it came to, let's say, patient rapport, how to talk to them, how to get information to them, how to read them a little bit better in terms of how perceptive they will be to the information that I need to give them. Definitely wasn't second guessing myself in terms of the customer service aspect, so the face-to-face aspect. Definitely became a little bit more about my technical skills, feeling like, again, I was still too slow at cleaning, missing build-up in calculus. So the lesson I learned from that is showing up builds the confidence, keep going, keep doing it. The more you show up, the easier it gets. Once I kind of had a routine of what I would do when and what things I could kind of go a bit faster on or didn't have to spend as much time on, I would kind of take note of what appointments went well and which ones didn't, and what did I do differently with them. For example, when you do the appointment and the exam went smoother, what about it went smoother? What did you do? Did you do anything differently from the one before that didn't? And then celebrate when patients kind of start requesting you. But it's like a double-edged sword, because you'll get ones that start requesting you that you'll like, and then you'll also get ones that will start requesting you that you do not like and do not want to see again. It makes you look good in your office that patients like you, especially the front desk. If it's easier for them to deal with patients, they will want to keep you around. The same thing goes for temping. If you are good to the patients while you're temping, and they will go up to the front and say they're great, that hygienist is great, that office will want to bring you back. You can celebrate small wins in any career. Progress often looks invisible to us all until you take the time to look back and see how far you've come. First 2 years, I think I was just really hyper-focused on trying to make myself a better dental hygienist, work more, make more money, have those golden handcuffs, so to speak, that I didn't realize that this other issue by year 3, I would say, honestly, started to creep in. I left school and my feet hit the pavement. I just wanted to work. I was so done with not having a good paying job for a decade at that point that I just really wanted that paycheck. You can actually watch an old video of mine if you wanted, where my first paycheck didn't land in my account properly, and so I had to wait 5 business days, and I was late on my bill. It made it so bad. I'll never forget. I was so upset by it. All of that work that I was doing was really starting to take a toll on my body. Not just the physical aspect of my neck and my hands and my back hurting, but the mental aspect as well. Back-to-back appointments, never fully getting a break. The first office that I worked at, there was no place to put a water bottle discreetly in a hygienic area. So I kept my water bottle in the lunchroom, but every time I needed to take a sip of water, I'd have to go out of my way, and I always was so severely dehydrated. Now I basically take a sip of water in between every single patient. So I am drinking this huge thing. I am trying to drink a lot of water. And that's something that I didn't do the first 2 years, essentially. So now I always find a place to put my water bottle. But the back-to-back appointments, the physical strain, the schedule changes, office politics, fighting, it's all really started to get to me. And you definitely start to realize that dental hygiene, definitely not the easy way to make tons of money. I think I realized that probably the first month of working. It's not easy. By year 3, I was definitely feeling like everyone else in the office was thinking that I had it easy and that I had nothing to complain about. Burnout is definitely not something that makes you weak. Everyone has their own unique perception on things and how they internalize it and process that information is so specific to each and every single person. So the way that I view something that someone said could be interpreted completely different by the person standing next to me, and we'd have two different individual experiences with it. Yes, I originally thought burning out meant that it was something that was wrong with me, and why can't I handle it when I see other people handling it just fine? And I thankfully realized that feeling burnt out just means that the system is not working. The system is asking for too much of you, and it is not sustainable. In that aspect, my advice for new hygienists would be to take care of your body, do your stretches, lift weights, strength train, go see a RMT. If you're starting to hurt, figure out what exactly it is you're doing that's making it hurt and try and improve your ergonomics. Can't stress that enough. Invest in loops, a chair if you need to. Ask your office if they will help with any of the costs of these things. And above all, advocate for yourself. Advocate for reasonable appointment times. Advocate for needing help. Ask for help with sterilization, because the offices that make you feel like you're complaining and not grateful for all the things that they're giving you is a sign that they don't respect your job, your profession, and they don't respect you at the end of the day. So why do you want to be making the people that run that office that way money and like profit off of your body and mental health? And yeah, it's just not nice. And I learned that year 3, kind of going into year 4 of being a dental hygienist. Pay attention to how other hygienists are feeling around you, especially in your particular office if you're not the only one. This can go for any career. If the general consensus in the office or whatever workplace that you're working at is that people are complaining and burnt out, you are probably going to fall along at some point in your career or in your employment there. And by year 4, I wasn't just only thinking about how to survive the workday. I have mentioned it before. I was kind of rethinking on my whole hygiene career and how this career will fit into my life the older I get. Now I see things differently, as I'm sure by year 5, 6, whatever, however long I stay in this career, I will see it differently every year. I'll gain new experiences, lessons learned, have gone through different struggles, I'm sure. But year 4, I definitely see things differently. I know what my strengths are. I've built up my skills. I continue to build up my skills. I can admit to myself the parts that I struggle with and need help with. I have come to the realization of what I will put up with in offices and what I will not. I will speak up more about the things that I feel like aren't making me happy. More importantly, I've realized that this job doesn't define me, and I have stopped kind of introducing myself as a dental hygienist. I'm proud of being one, but there is a lot more to me than just my job, and this job doesn't have to define me for the rest of my life. My perspective has definitely changed. I've always thought that hygiene was not going to be a career that was going to be in until I retire, just based off of how much it physically hurts. I don't think I will last, but I would like to last as long as I can because I genuinely do love being a dental hygienist. But I've learned that careers, any career, can be a stepping stone. It definitely doesn't have to be the final destination. And I think it's okay to admit to yourself that you don't want to be in the clinical setting for the rest of your life. The great thing about being a dental hygienist is that it can give you stability while you explore other options. And the skills you've built, the skills I've built, like being patient, being extremely detailed, having better communication and understanding of people, are skills that can be transferred to very many, if not all, other careers that you want to go into or think about going into. My advice for anyone and everyone is don't feel trapped by one career choice. every job gives you tools that you can carry on to the next one, even if you pivot later in life. My biggest takeaway, I would say, of 4 years of being a dental hygienist is that it has taught me more than just clinical skills. It's taught me about growth, burnout, balance, and being open to change. And whether you are already a dental hygienist, going to be one, or just curious about it or you're doing something else, remember that your career is just one part of your life. It is not your whole identity. Let me know down in the comments below what you have learned from your career, what they've taught you, and if you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. I'm gonna leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.